For more content in production, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. Thank you. We'll begin.
Shalom, shalom. My name is Baruch. Thank you for watching the Torah Effects. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you press the red button to get more productions every week. In this episode, we'll investigate who are the Samaritans. Who are these people? Why are these people seen as the outsiders? Where did they originated from? Did they really serve Yahweh and his Torah? Why did YHWH refer them in many occasions? Fasten your seatbelts, this episode will be incredible. Coming up next.
In this episode of the Torah Effects, we'll investigate the pagan origin of the Samaritans. Who were these people? Where did they come from? What did they worship? We'll begin with 2 Kings 17 verse 24. And the king of Assyria brought men in from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and Sepharvaim, and made them live in the cities of Samaria instead of the sons of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and lived in its cities. We have to be clear before anything else. Before the exile, the northern kingdom was very disobedient to Yahweh. The judgment came from the Assyrians by replacing the tribe of Ephraim and the half-tribe of Manasseh. At that time, the capital of the country was Samaria. The king of Assyria sent individuals from different countries like Babylon, Cutha, Ava, Hamath, and Sepharvaim to live in Samaria when the 10 tribes were taken into captivity. These outsiders had intermarried with the remaining Israelites in and around Samaria. Initially, these foreigners worshipped their Elohim, gods, demons of their own countries, but when they began to experience problems with lions, they assumed it was because they had disobeyed the Almighty. As a result, a Hebrew priest was therefore sent to them from the exile that was carried away to instruct them in the Torah, but still retained many of their idolatrous customs. 2 Kings 17 verses 25 to 26. And it happened at the beginning of their living there, they did not fear Yahweh, and Yahweh sent lions among them, and they were killing among them. And they spoke to the king of Assyria, saying, The nations that you have exiled and have made to live in the cities of Samaria do not know the custom of the Almighty of the land, and he has sent the lions into their midst, and, behold, they are killing them. 2 Kings 17 verse 28. And one of the priests whom they exiled from Samaria came and lived in Bethel, and he taught them how they should fear Yahweh. These became the so-called Samaritans of the scriptures, a mixture of Hebrew and idolatry. 2 Kings 17 verse 33. They feared Yahweh and served their own Elohim, gods, demons, according to the custom of the nations from where they exiled them. Exile of Israel by the Assyrians in 722 BC. Yahudim, Jews, call them simply Shamranim, Samaritans, in the Talmud, Rabbinic Compendium of Law, Tradition, and Comment. They are called Cutim, which suggests they are rather descendants of the Mesopotamian Cuthians, who settled in Samaria after the Assyrian conquest. In the story, which first appears in the book of Jubilees, and then in the Midrash, that Mount Gerizim was considered sacred by the Samaritans because the Elohim, demons, idols of Laban were buried there. The wines of the Samaritans were forbidden because the Samaritans used them in the worship of an image of a dove erected on the summit of Mount Gerizim, all. 6a. According to a Midrash, this image was the idol that was buried by relatives of Jacob under the oak tree at Shechem. Genesis 35 verse 4. Tosafot al. The grounds for animosity between the Israelites and pagan Samaritans were the following. 1. The Jews started restoring their temple as soon as they got back from Babylon. The Samaritans made a determined effort to stop Nehemiah from finishing the construction of Jerusalem's walls. Nehemiah 6 verse 1 to 14. 2. The Samaritans constructed a temple for themselves on Mount Gerizim, which they claimed Moses had named as the nation's center of worship. The Samaritan chieftain Sanballat appointed his son-in-law Manasseh as high priest. As a result, the Samaritans' idolatrous religion continued. 3. Samaria became a haven for all of Judea's outlaws. Joshua 20 verses 6 to 7, 21-21. The Samaritans took up Jewish criminals and fled from the law on their own volition. The hostility that existed between the two countries increased dramatically when those who had broken Torah law and those who had been excommunicated found refuge in Samaria. 4. The Samaritans received only the 5 books of Moses and rejected the writings of the prophets and all the Jewish customs. Now, let's start putting the pieces together, shall we? In the 1st century when YHWH came, he encountered many times with Samaritans. One in particular was the Samaritan woman. Yehoshua told the woman this. John 4 verses 16 to 18. Yeshua said to her, "Go, call your husband and come here." And the woman answered and said, "I have no husband." Yeshua said to her, "Well did you say, I have no husband? For you have had 5 husbands, and the one that you have now is not your husband. This you have spoken is true." Here in this verse we have to understand the message of Mashiach. He said to her, "You had 5 husbands." Now, let's remember this. Ecclesiastes 1:9 what it was, it will be again. History repeats itself. Assyria had 5 countries invaded Ephraim and the original Samaritans: Babylon, Cutha, Ava, Hamath, and Sepharvaim. Yehoshua is telling the woman that her belief is in confusing in many Elohim, gods, demons. That is why Yehoshua said these words. John 4 verse 22. You give worship, but without knowledge of what you are worshiping. We give worship to what we have knowledge of, for salvation comes from the Jews. In other words, you are confused and in darkness. Now let's put the pieces together, shall we? Yehoshua's ultimate goal is to reunite Israel scattered around the world. When he refers to Samaritans, he is referring to the original Samaritans that were there before the exile of the Assyrians and the pagan countries. Let's remember this. 2 Kings 17 verse 24. And the king of Assyria brought men in from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and Sepharvaim, and made them live in the cities of Samaria instead of the sons of Israel. We understand how this is referring to Ephraim, the house of Israel. Matthew 15 verse 24. But he answered and said to them, "Have I not been sent except to the lost sheep of the house of Israel?" Another final clue to know. Samaritans claim to observe only the 5 books of Moses. If that was the case, why is it that Mashiach, David, Shaul, and the rest of the tzaddik and righteous always refer to the Tanakh in the Hebrew scriptures? Isaiah 8 verse 20 to the Torah and to the testimony. If they do not speak according to this word, it is because there is no light to them. Luke 24 verse 44. And he said to them, "These are the words which I spoke to you yet being with you, that all the things must be fulfilled having been written in the Torah of Moshe, Moses, and the prophets, and the Psalms, concerning me."
Shalom, shalom. Well, what do you think? That was incredible. In this journey we take every week on finding treasures. Now, we realize the real Samaritans Yehoshua was referring to was the house of Israel. The question today is, who are the so-called Samaritans living in Israel today? Judge for yourself. Here in this channel we've taken the task every week to bring you exciting conferences in this channel, the Torah effects. Please give us a like and subscribe, so you can get the latest video production. Thank you. Until next time, my name is Baruch. Shalom, shalom.
Toda Rabba. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. There's more content in production. Thank you.